Hello, welcome back to the episode of 3Guys1Mic. It is Monday, January 25th, and we're recording this. About a day removed from what was the NFC Championship and AFC Championship. So that's going to be the focal point of this episode. So, Luman, I'm going to open the floor to you. That Bills-Chiefs game, right? A game, we had a rather close game, right? Scoring. Willie had a high game. That game kind of turned out to be a high-scoring game, right? Luman, I want you to open the floor. Let me hear your notes about that one, okay?
Yeah, Bill started off very well, as we all saw. Got the 3 points where I thought they should have finished off in a touchdown. And then they got the turnover from McCall Hardman. And they started off very good. But I said last week, the first turnover in this game is going to be a huge step for who wants to win. But the problem with the Bills is I think they got it way too early. Because we all know this Chiefs team comes back from big leads. I mean, 9 points isn't really that big, but you know. And they could come back from turnovers. Yeah, they flush that down the drain easily.
Yeah, keep in mind, the last 3 games, the start the playoffs, the Chiefs last year were down in all 3 games.
Exactly.
So
10-0, I believe, in all 3.
Yeah. He was doing 21-0 one of the games versus the Texans.
And everyone thought this game was going to come down to the rushing attack, right? Which the Bills won 129 to 114.
Yeah.
But Big Red somehow adjusted to the soft zone, and he adjusted pretty well. And it allowed Tyreek to go off for 8 catches, 166 yards, I want to say. And then Travis Kelce had 11 catches for 113.
Yeah. And he had 9 in the first half alone, which was insane.
And so when you have these 2 guys putting up 100 yards, it's just, there's no way to stop them, especially with the receivers like Tyreek, a tight end like Travis Kelce. It's just 2 players we've never really seen before in the NFL, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
And the Bills, I feel like they lacked experience in this game. Yes, I know Josh Allen played like 3 games before this. But this is a different type of game, the AFC title game. Yeah, it's not like his level, you know what I mean? And Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs was in that Vikings game, if I believe, when they played the Eagles, right? Yeah. Correct? But you saw that in the end of the game, how it was getting to their heads. Yeah. We all saw that one play where Josh Allen got sacked and he started throwing the ball. And then it just went on from there. And so next year they play again, and that'll be fun to watch. But I just feel like the Chiefs are more experienced. They have Pat Mahomes, arguably the greatest quarterback in the league, and was my MVP, but that's a regular season award. He could have the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. Lamar, you don't want you there?
Go ahead.
I'm open up here. Oftentimes when we think about sports, right, the super teams of sports, keep in mind for the NBA here, everyone was building a roster to beat the Warriors, and then now they're building a roster to beat the Lakers. For the foreseeable future, people are building rosters to beat the Chiefs. Like you're building a roster to beat the Chiefs, right? Lamar, to hit at your point, when you talk about how you can't stop Hill, you can't stop Kelce, right? I agree with you. I think it's even harder when you throw and you can just hand the ball off to McCall Hardman for 50 yards.
Exactly.
I think how dynamic that locker room is. I mean the depth chart on that team for wide receiver, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Insane.
Yes. So yes, I was wrong. I predicted the Bills winning this game. Willie got me, I will admit. Willie was correct. Yeah. I'll go and move on here. So here's a quick stat here, right? Quick stat here. Last 7 playoff games, not regular season, for Patrick Mahomes here. 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Jesus.
Playoff games here. Playoff games. Keep in mind, playoff games versus teams that are positive, 10 plus wins, right?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It makes zero sense. It just what he's doing. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. So let's move on to the actual stats for the game, right? Patrick Mahomes, 29 of 38, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked once. Pretty easy game. Walk in the damn park. Josh Allen, 29 of 48. 287, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. As we all know, a majority of those yards were, garbage time yards, right? Just throwing to try to win, right? A 7-on-7 tournament. Yeah. Chiefs, this is another good stat here. The Chiefs punted 1 time. The Chiefs punted 1 time. The Chiefs punted the ball 1 time.
Yeah. First quarter, right? First drive?
Yeah. How does that? Yeah, it's just... And like I said, the Bills' defense had 1 sack. They weren't coming after Mahomes. They weren't pressuring him. It's just, if anything they want to do, they did. And if it was a tough game to watch here. Let's move on to third downs, right? For the Bills, they were 3 of 14, 21%. you can't win a playoff game. You're going 3-14 for third downs,
especially when you have a third down 14 times.
Mind you, the Bills are the best third down team.
Yes.
This year, so.
And also, the Bills had the best red zone defense coming into this game. Didn't show up. It didn't show up. The Chiefs 6 of 10, 60 yards. Right. The big thing with the Chiefs is the Chiefs never need third downs because they score on first and second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's phenomenal. And then to look at the stats, the Chiefs led in every category in the game. Statistically, every category except for rushing yards, which made zero sense to me because the Chiefs were on top most of the time, so they had to run the ball. You mean to run out the clock?
Yeah.
I think when the Bills went up 9-0, game looked good, and then the Chiefs scored 21 unanswered. Josh Allen was in distress the entire game. He was flustered. You know what I mean? Sacked 4 times. You saw it get to his head through the ball at him, right? Mm-hmm. It was a bad look for the kid at the end of the game, but you can't blame him.
Yeah.
It's who's beating the Chiefs.
It's frustrating.
Yes,
Not playing a team that good.
It is, and I feel like the most frustrating part is when there's only so much he can do when he has the ball, right? He has to watch his defense just get clapped. We saw the play here. Hopefully we can throw up the clip right here of Tyreek Hill just beating the brakes of this Bills defense. Like, you ever see videos of like Tyreek when he's playing flag football and there's like the 40 kids, right?
Yeah, just running around all of them.
He did this, but with grown men, who are getting paid to play football.
Literally him just getting off the line and running a streak made Tre'Davious White fall.
Yeah, it's insane. And for me, I'll go and end my rant here, but it's gonna be a tough 10 years for us. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start this off by saying Kansas City can turn around whenever they want. As we know, for the last month or so of the regular season, people were worried. They're like, that Dolphins game, they barely won that Dolphins game after turning the ball over a bunch of times.
Lost to the Raiders.
Yeah,
Falcons game.
The loss to the Raiders, and then the Raiders almost beating them at home again. So, but honestly, I feel like this game was more about the Bills getting exposed for their deficiencies.
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like Kansas City kind of proved that they could just flip the switch whenever they wanted. We know in the last 2 months of the regular season, people were worried about how close they were cutting it. Mm-hmm. I think the margin of wins was like the point differential was like 6 points or something like that.
Yeah. Keep in mind the Raiders game too.
Yeah, the Raiders game, all that stuff. So when it comes down to it, I think this game was more about the Bills and their deficiencies. Little man added in how the Bills had how many yards? 121 rushing yards?
129.
129, okay. And 88 of those yards came from their quarterback.
Yeah, oh my, yes.
So when you don't have an actual traditional running game,
it
is super hard to beat a team.
I saw that stat too.
Yeah, and after that first scripted drive where they went for it on fourth down and they got it, and then it resulted in a field goal, their offense just didn't look the same. They just didn't look how they looked all year. The Chiefs went on that run, as well as that McCall Harmon turnover at his own 2-yard line. Mm-hmm. They recovered the ball, and you need 2 yards. You have 4 tries to get 2 yards. That's obviously an easy touchdown. So I didn't really see anything there from that offense that was like convincing. Yeah. And I just knew that the Chiefs were gonna turn it on again. And I like the attitude that Andy Reid had towards his player McCall Harmon. He fumbled the ball. Mm-hmm. That's something big. That's something you don't see a player get in for the rest of the game with that play.
Yeah, especially in the AFC Championship too.
Yeah. And then right after that, you give him a touch pass, and he goes 50 yards. And then to cap off the drive, he scores. So I think it's a great answer from Andy Reid, showing that he trusts his players.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, he played great all year, right? And one thing that I kind of noticed in these playoff games, and I think it's honestly the one knock on his game, is how he takes a sack. He's running back trying to hold off the defense, and he's losing yards instead of just going down. So I see quarterbacks all the time. I'm an Eagles fan, so Carson Wentz will try to force the ball out, will just take the sack or something like that. But I've never seen really a quarterback run backwards.
He never throws the ball away.
Yeah. And also when it comes down to it, how my little man touched on it. Mm-hmm. When you have Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill combining for 290 yards for 22 catches, it's hard to stop that. Even if you take one of them away, that's still a big problem. You still have Tyreek Hill who could run down the field, take a slant, and go 90 yards. Or you have Travis Kelce who could get open and read zones better than anyone in the NFL. I think the Bills are the team to beat next year. Excluding the Chiefs. But I think if the Bills could get a good running game, revamp that O-line a little bit, and they could get a pass rush, they could be a great team. But just if you have no passes on Patrick Mahomes and you can't run the ball to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, it's going to be hard to win that game.
Yeah, 100%. You know, the biggest thing they need this year is you know, a Jadeveon Clowney. You know what I mean? Like
something like that. Yeah,
a talent of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, like Leslie Frazier, he rely too much on that soft zone. And when you do that so much, that's when Kelsey likes to read it. And, you know, his route will be a post route, but once he sees that little hole you leave him, it'll be a curl. It'll turn into a curl, and he sits there. It's a gain of about 8, and that kills defenses.
And another thing I forgot to touch on was that the Chiefs secondary. I know Little Man said this last week, how the Chiefs defense looks pedestrian all regular season. And when it comes to the playoffs, they turn it on.
I don't know what it is.
They looked really good yesterday.
I don't know what it is.
So yeah, I mean, it sucks for the Bills. I know they're going to be back. They have the determination. As I said, they look like a family out there. And, I mean, it's just how Maya said it. Next 10 years are going to be scary for the NFL.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with everything we all said here. Moving on to this Packers game, right? Man. Hey, I said it from day one. I was a big Aaron Rodgers fan. This one was tough. Willie, I'll open up the floor to you.
Okay.
I'll let you go and start off this one. You know, let us know, Let us know how you feel about Tom Brady going to his 10th Super Bowl appearance. Yeah.
Well, to start off with Maya, with the 10 Super Bowls, I think it's phenomenal. We are never going to see this again in the NFL. It's hard to make one Super Bowl, but making 10 with a different team as well. Like, I'm glad that Tom Brady shut up everybody who was saying that he's a system quarterback. He shut me up. I honestly thought, I think it was simply solely because of the Patriots, but I thought he wouldn't have the same success. I was wrong. It's outstanding what he's doing, but when it comes down to it, I see it as the Packers had too many missed opportunities, too many what if plays. When it comes down to it, late in the second quarter, in the red zone, Packers missed on 3 straight plays to hit Devontae Adams. One, he just didn't turn his head around this time, dropped it. Alan Lazard, they tried to run a pick route, I believe, and Alan Lazard picked the wrong guy. And then the throw to Devontae Adams was too late. So, I mean, that's a big... That's a 4-point differential because you only got a field goal out of that. Also, the interception by Aaron Rodgers, that could have been a holding call in my eyes.
Yeah.
You saw his shoulder pad come out of his jersey. I thought it was a holding call. But either way, Bruce Arians, he's that coach. He's that coach that's like a loose cannon, And he went for it with 6 seconds left in the first half and threw it to who was it again? Who was the receiver?
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller. There we go. And
that was a beautiful pass.
That was a great pass. But what I see is that Kevin King. A lot of people are dogging him on Twitter. What I see is that Kevin King, he was put in a bad position on that play. He played it awfully. He executed that awfully. But when you're playing a single high safety and man with 6 seconds left, what do you expect as a defensive coordinator? I don't know what you expect from him. But also, he should have gotten back. I don't know what he was playing. But there's too many what-if plays on that. And this is the pivotal point, again, like where I thought the game was lost, was that touchdown going into the second half. And then Aaron Jones fumbled to start the second half. On that third down, in your own territory, you don't want to turn the ball over to Tom Brady. So, and then this is a big thing that everyone was talking about. I don't want to hear your guys' opinions on this. Matt LaFleur kicking a field goal instead of going for it on fourth down. What do you guys think?
Like there's this big thing. It's like it's surrounding the playoffs, right? The playoffs, it's like the Gruden effect, right? It's just the playoffs, baby. You know what I mean? Like you go for it no matter what. You know what I mean? Like you go for a fourth down, you fake the damn field goal. You know what I mean? You fake the punt. I feel like it's a playoff. Yeah, it's all or nothing. You're playing against the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah,
you're not going to beat him with a bunch of average Joe plays. Yeah,
and I feel like there's been this conflict between them for like a while now. Starting back from last season where Aaron Rodgers would call his own plays, and now the offseason when they drafted Jordan Love. And, I just don't understand how you don't trust Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, like I'm sorry to cut you off here. Like I put money on it. Aaron Rodgers was like, hell no, let's go for it. Like, I put money. He's saying let's go for it. Because what veteran QB who's a damn competitor at heart wouldn't go for it?
Yeah, and he has a problem, especially when you watch the press conference and listen to what he says.
His body language is like...
Packers fans just know, like, something bad is going to happen this offseason.
Jesus Christ. But did you guys hear what he said in the press conference? He said that if he would have known that they were going to kick the field goal, he would have called a different play. Because Matt LaFleur told him in the huddle, he's like, you can call your own play, whatever. So he called that play thinking that they were going to have another chance. Yeah. So I think... I like his call, Matt LaFleur. You know what I mean? Like, but how Maya said, it's the playoffs. He was playing it safe. Bruce Arians wasn't. You see him going for it with 6 seconds left in the first half, and you see Matt LaFleur kicking a field goal.
Sorry, Coach, again.
You're good.
So when the Saints beat the Colts in the Super Bowl, I forgot what Super Bowl it was. You mean?
Yeah.
It was 2009. But I forgot like what number. But when they beat them in 2009, to open up the second half, they kicked an onside kick. You know what I mean? Like no one does that. No one in their damn mind does that.
Yeah.
Except for someone who wants to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's the playoffs. You have to do these things.
When it comes down to it, you're playing a great quarterback on the other side. You have to make a gutsy call.
Yeah.
Referencing my own team, we called Philly special to give us I think it was a 10-point lead going into halftime. So you had to play aggressive in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And even if you don't get that 4th down, you're still pinning them back inside the 10 with four time stoppages, 2-minute warning, and you have 3 timeouts. So I don't really see the downside of not going for it. So, and then as well as the officiating that whole game, I think it was officiated horribly. And again, that Kevin King PI at the end, it was a clear PI. I mean, the refs had no choice. But my problem with it is that for the first 3 quarters of it, it was officiated horribly with the holding penalty. So
like I get let him play, but like sometimes you just gotta call what you see.
All right, so I'm gonna go and take over here. I'm short and sweet here. Congratulations, Tom Brady. I'm always gonna root for Tom Brady, even if he's not on my team. I'm happy to see 43-year-old going to his 10th Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's not a 43-year-old kicker; it's a 43-year-old quarterback who threw for damn near 40 touchdowns this year. You know what I mean? It's phenomenal quarterback play. And I'm all happy for him. And I want the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
As far as the Packers here, when you look at last game when they played the Rams, it was a phenomenal win. It was an outstanding win. Over 150 rushing yards. Aaron Rodgers had 296 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Right? It was phenomenal. It was so bright looking forward. You thought, man, it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be Aaron Rodgers prime time. And then it wasn't.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like you mentioned this, Will, a Patriot game. A Patriot game, right? That's a game where they don't commit turnovers. They just score off your turnovers. And that's simply what happened with the fumble willy, with the interceptions. And keep in mind, like, Tom Brady didn't play in this game. He didn't play good, right? It's just they just capitalize. They just capitalize over the small things. And for me, I just feel Aaron. I feel bad for him because I wanted him so bad. I even DM'd him. I wanted him so bad to win the Super Bowl. I wanted him so bad to get one more.
Yeah.
And I understand he's not going to retire anytime soon, but it's
another missed opportunity.
Yes, and you only have so many of those.
I was telling Little Man. I'm sorry to pick you up. I was telling Little Man yesterday. I'm like, there's no other quarterback who could throw 3 interceptions in the second half and still win the game. Yeah. Like, it is crazy how that Bucs defense played phenomenal. As I said, whoever gets more pressure is going to win the game. The Bucs got more pressure. David Bakhtiari was out towards ACL again, and it showed. It showed the reason why he was so important to that offense. And for the Bucs defense, for the Bucs O-line, they handled pass rush really well throughout this entire playoffs. So going into the Super Bowl with them, Kansas City doesn't have that good of a pass rush either. So it's going to look scary if Tom Brady could get a clean pocket. And watching that game, the difference between pockets and Aaron Rodgers had a shift maneuver around it, and Tom Brady had a clear pocket. The pocket wasn't collapsing on him, which was happening to Aaron Rodgers, so it's crazy to watch.
Yeah. I'll say one point on this. I'll keep mine short and simple. And it's basically to summarize what basically Jeremiah and Willie just said. Both teams had 11 drives, and the Packers couldn't capitalize on 4 of them.
Yeah.
And Tampa's defense stepped up. There's a narrative going around this season that they were overhyped, gave up a lot of yards. We saw them give up a lot of yards to the Rams, who Jared Goff is. Yeah, I understand.
They did get dicked. Yeah.
Yes, they had their ups and downs. But this game, they brought the pressure, and they basically looked Aaron Rodgers in the eye and said, "We're not gonna let you. We're not gonna let you be what you're known for."
Yeah.
And they pressured him, went after the O-line, had to make a statement, and it's nothing but veterans on that D-line. So they've been in the playoffs. Ndamukong Suh's been in the Super Bowl. JPP's been in the Super Bowl. Shaq Barrett's been in the Super Bowl, and they're just gonna get after you, and that worries me for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It worries for me for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But
especially
if anything,
two tackles out. So.
Exactly.
Eric Fisher's not playing.
And exactly, you know. But the one person who can make adjustments to this is Big Red.
That's true.
And that's why I trust him going into the Super Bowl. And somehow he'll make it work.
You can only ask so much.
Exactly.
Any other points here, guys?
Nothing. Just another missed opportunity for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Future's gonna look crazy for him. You know, see what's gonna happen in the offseason.
Don't be surprised if he moves.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But as far as Tom Brady, you know, I honestly think no one's ever gonna achieve what he's gonna achieve. He's not the most talented quarterback in my eyes, but he just spews greatness. Anywhere he goes, his team follows. You know, his team just he leads by example.
To me, he's just the most determined and smartest quarterback.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, he knows how to flush plays down.
Yeah,
I know he gets upset and stuff like that, but like he just knows
how to flush it. Yeah.
He's a short, like, what is it? He flushes it down.
Short-term memory.
Short-term memory. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know down below in the comments. You know, like what you thought about these NFC and AFC Championship, guys. Also, we want to give you guys a huge thanks. Our last video over 250 views, guys. Yeah, that was insane to us. Yeah, that was actually our most viewed video in all of our videos. Span, so thank you guys so much for that. Feel free to let us know down below. Subscribe, guys. Comment.
Make sure you guys like.
Yeah.
Like the video.
Us seeing that just gives us more fuel to our fire, guys.
Share it with your family members.
Yeah, of course.
That.
Anything you disagree with us on?
Yeah, definitely let us know down below.
In the comments.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.